Hello and welcome to Teachings in Education, Instructional Scaffolding. I am your narrator, Frank Avella. Here we will cover several different topics related to scaffolding, and we'll begin with the question of why should educators use scaffolding in the first place? Scaffolding is used to help students meet their learning objectives. Scaffolding allows the teacher to take on the role as a facilitator, and it allows the student to do the work themselves in a student-centered manner. Instructional scaffolding is an excellent type of intervention for struggling students. It can be individualized for specific students and various types of activities. Another benefit is that it often opens up a dialogue between teachers and students that will help build a rapport, something I'll talk about a little later. Next, we'll briefly look at some different types of scaffolding. Instructional scaffolding can be broken down into two different types. The first type is called soft scaffolding, and the second type, you guessed it, is hard scaffolding. So soft scaffolding can be something as simple as a teacher roaming the room and giving hints and prompts to students in need of help. Hard scaffolding, on the other hand, such as making additions to worksheets, providing visuals, creating cue cards, and much more. Continuing, we'll take a look at how teachers can actually scaffold in the classroom. It's best first to develop a rapport with the students. The rapport will only deepen as the teacher provides prompts and explanation for the students. Next, teachers should assess students for their knowledge level of topic of study. Formative assessments are great for this. Then, select a task for the student that aligns with curriculum standards and the teacher's lesson planning objectives. This can be a whole class or individual for the student. Because the teacher has assessed the student's knowledge, that teacher should be able to anticipate upcoming errors on behalf of the student. Next, we must apply the scaffold to the task. So if the task is a compare and contrast essay, maybe provide a partially filled Venn diagram on the subject. And as students improve, teachers should begin to remove the scaffold. Perhaps graphic organizers aren't warranted anymore. You don't want the students to become reliant on the scaffold. So right now I'm going to take a short break and ask you to like and subscribe to this channel. Don't forget to share this video. Check the description and check links for resources to a PowerPoint presentation and some scaffolding activities as well. Up next is the topic of classroom scaffolding. Here are just a few types of instructional scaffolds. First, a teacher can provide cue cards to the students. These cards can have visual representations, mnemonics, and other sorts of information for solving problems. Another type of instructional scaffold is to give students examples of problems. Examples can help students get over the hill when they're stuck on what to do next. Vocabulary books work very well. This will help a student understand the meaning of words in different contexts. Teachers can easily prompt a student to stimulate their achievement. There are verbal prompts and physical prompts, such as point to what to do next. Low-functioning special needs students may need little hints from time to time. Give them a hint that may spark their thinking. Graphic organizers are exceptional scaffolding tools. With graphic organizers, students are able to bridge the gap between connecting concepts and ideas. Continuing, we'll take a look at some scaffolding guidelines for educators to follow. It's important for educators to give praise and encouragement. Just because a teacher gives a scaffold doesn't mean that the student will take it. Praise helps. Teachers must assign appropriate tasks for the student. Some tasks may be well beyond a student's ability. In that case, scaffolding won't be enough. Scaffolding should include various types of supports, and by that I mean not just academic, but social and emotional support. Students should be afforded second chances. If a student makes a mistake, even with the supports and scaffolds, they should continue to try and try again. And lastly, teachers must frequently check for understanding, which they can easily do through formative assessments. Helps educators identify where and when to scaffold. The next topic is whole classroom scaffolding. Although we always think of instructional scaffolding on the individual level, teachers can scaffold for an entire class using the method of I do, we do, you teach. It begins with the teacher modeling a task, process, or solution for the entire classroom. That class should watch closely as the instructor teaches the lesson. Next, the teacher and the student work together as a team. The teacher is there to help every step of the way. The next level involves the student working by themselves. Here they can demonstrate mastery of the topic. And lastly, the student becomes the teacher. This is the highest level, where they can now help their friends and peers learn. Now, before we finish this presentation, we're going to explore some challenges and criticisms of instructional scaffolding. Creating, securing resources, and implementation can be a time-consuming process. Different students in the same classroom may need different types of scaffolds. If teachers are committed to scaffolding, they must take the time and really get to know the student. There is no other way to do it. Also, critics believe that scaffolding can lead to students becoming too dependent on the scaffolds. Students often feel insecure when scaffolds are removed. So that wraps up this presentation. Don't forget to check the description, check the information links to pages for corresponding PowerPoints. Like, share, subscribe to this video. Check out the Teespring store as well. A lot of cool stuff there. Thank you for the view.